It hummed once, then again, and then stopped completely, coming to a repulsive halt. The silence echoed like the death cries of some disgusting mechanical insect. We all stayed where we were, stunned by the lack of sound. Perhaps in some sick way, we had become accustomed to the static hums. The staccato noise was just as much a part of us as an arm or a thigh. When it stopped, so did we. Someone, a man, tapped the television set with his fist. It reminded me of when the noise first began. We attacked our television, assaulting it with flesh and weapon. I think someone shot it. The screen cracked and cackled like a campfire. This, of course, came after the initial attempts to simply switch the TV off. Off no longer existed. The plug had been pulled away, but the TV kept humming, releasing that vile sound into the air. The seeable eternity was overpopulated with noise. Now, in the din of absence, the man's tapping only fueled more anger. Someone else, a child, threw her body against the television. All we knew now was the sound. When it stopped, so did we. What else could we do but offer up our bodies, our blood, to get it back? Someone else, a young man, tried vibrating his vocal cords. It sounded revolting. The cry came from some sickly place in his throat and bounced off the empty walls. The child slapped him. His wet shriek went dead. I thought maybe it needed something. I left my place on the floor to grab anything I could hold. Lamps, dishes, pieces of paper. I laid them all at the feet of the TV. Like any inanimate object, it did not acknowledge my gifts. The others tried to help me. The young man carried in pillows, while the older man flipped the dining room table. The child scattered toys at its feet. The rooms were empty, but nothing changed. The humming had stopped. When it stopped, so did we. I remember before the noise there was no conversation. There were handshakes and embraces. We didn't touch each other anymore. Any movement would have disrupted the sound, so when the man's arm brushed against mine, I lashed back at him, clawing his skin. Bits of him caked beneath my fingernails. We were desperate. This feeling reminded me of when the humming first began. We were desperate then to stop it. The noise wasn't loud or grating, but the constant stream of it pulverized our eardrums. The child got nosebleeds. The man threw the television in the bedroom, but we could hear it vibrating against the blankets. We all slept on the living room floor. The young man tried to drown it out with music, but it didn't help. Nothing helped. We survived for days on that floor, swallowing packets of humming air. Finally, I made my way to the bedroom, to where the television was slumped against the mattress. The screen was destroyed. The plastic casing bled wires. I picked it up and carried it over my head. The TV was heavy. My arms shuddered. Once I was in the living room, the young man locked the door behind me. I put it down, and the humming sang. We all sat around it. We watched it as though we could see the sound. I don't know how long we sat there, but I know the noise stopped, and when it stopped, so did we. The man was first to go. He just stopped breathing. No dramatics, just ceased taking in air. He calmly lay on his side with his eyes wide open. They never closed. The child was next. She turned the oven on, perhaps trying to recreate the sound. Wordlessly, she climbed inside. The door closed. I didn't hear any movement from her again. The young man seemed to be trying to tell me something. He wanted so badly to use his mouth to make a sound, but the only acceptable sounds were gone now. He reached for me, but I rolled away. His hands fell upon the forgotten shotgun. Maybe the trigger felt like a mother's loving grasp. It blew away half his face. The gunshot comforted me. It was so close to the hum. I wrenched my body towards the gun, eager to hear it again. But then the knocks came, at the front door. Babbling human voices dirtied my ears. They sounded nothing like the humming. Awful, angry words like leak and deadly. But the knocking, I sat against the door, drifting between bliss and chaos. Today's No Sleep story comes from username EZmisery. New videos every week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And sweet dreams.